So the Xoloitzcuintli, the Mexican Hairless Dog. I think they're the coolest thing ever. They just look like a creature from another world. They're incredible.
I'm not judging you. I'm happy that you found something that makes you happy.
Oh my dog. Dog. Oh my dog.
Oh my dog, hey.
Oh my dog, hello.
Let's talk about something fun.
The Xolo.
The Xoloitzcuintli. Xoloitzcuintli?
She Googled it earlier and made Google pronounce it to her.
Yes, that's what he said. Xoloitzcuintli. But a lot of people
It's with an
call
accent
them...
because...
It's a Mexican hairless dog.
Did you see any of these on vacation?
I looked and looked and looked every day. I thought, I love Mexican hairless dogs or Xolos. And I really, really wanted to see one. All I saw was, the whole time, a bunch of lab-looking dogs, brindle, mixy-looking dogs, couple purebred labs. I saw one husky, which was weird.
In Mexico?
On an island,
Ooh.
yes. And then, of course, some Chihuahua, Scruffy Muffy mixes. No actual, like, very cute, perfect Chihuahuas. Like, they were all, like, a mutt mix of something, you know. Nothing like what I hoped. But we're on our taxi ride as we're leaving the island, and I see it. Standing on a road stand, market, selling seashells down by the seashore. A Mexican hairless dog glimmering in the
Stop
sunlight.
the car.
Stop! I squealed from the, and the taxi driver did not speak any English. And I'm squealing about the hairless dog. And no one cares but me. And he would not stop.
Rude.
Anyway, so saw one finally in the wild in Mexico.
Did you see any chiclets?
Not one.
No. She did not bring me any chiclets from Mexico.
She asked only
She
for
left
one
my
thing.
ass here all by myself. Not really. I had a lot of hope.
Based on the last episode and what happened to her ass, I think you should be grateful.
No freaking chiclets. Are you kidding me?
We looked. I even had MB looking. I had my friends who were with me looking. Every time we went into a little tienda, a supermercado.
You can order them off Amazon next day.
I went into... Yeah, that's
come
what
on.
That's what I was going to do, Holly.
Did you really, though?
Look at my Amazon search history. I thought about ordering chiclets, sending them here, but I couldn't look at you in the face and lie to you that I brought them home from Mexico, so I didn't do it.
Wow. That's true friendship, really. Honestly, I'm not mad either way. Either way, you got to win. I mean, you couldn't lose in that situation. I lose in this situation because I don't have any chiclets.
There aren't any. I equated it to that we were on the island, but there weren't even any in the airport. I spent a long time in the airport staring in the candy areas.
I feel like airport candy stores are for
people,
parents that forgot to get their kids a gift on vacation.
That's what I felt like. But I didn't forget. I tried the whole time.
And the funniest thing is, so it's funny. When Aaron and I would go on vacations, inevitably I would find a dog anywhere we went. We went to California. We did the Route 1. We went to Florida. I mean, we've been all over. Thailand. I mean, I've found how many dogs you're gonna find over there, really.
Yeah.
And Arkansas. Every time I'd find this dog that needed help.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of one of those things that just happened. I don't know if that's one of those things where like you seek it out because that's who you are, or if it happens to you because that's who you are.
It's because we're looking for it. Yeah. I will say that while we were there, I learned a little bit about the culture of dog ownership in Mexico, specifically on Isla Mujeres, where we stayed. It's a little small, long, skinny island just off of Cancun. Like you can see Cancun from this island. It's very close. And everywhere we went, there was a dog sitting outside of somebody's door. In these little tiny houses along these streets, the dogs are all walking along. I noticed several things. One, the dogs all looked of proper weight. They were healthy looking. They all had collars on. And I asked one of our guides, we did a golf cart tour the first day to kind of get the lay of the land, And we asked her, like, are there stray dogs? And he said, there's not one stray dog on this island.
Wow.
They're all owned. But they go out and about during the day.
Everybody owns them.
Well, so they go out and about along the day and like go visit their friends or whatever, and then they come home. They don't stay in the house. They're not kenneled up during the day. Like when the parents and the people are gone or at work or whatever, the dog goes outside, and then
see you later.
They live in.
Did you hear that story about that lady that got arrested because her son walked to the store like less than a mile away? Did you hear about that?
No.
It just happened in like last
How
couple
old
days.
was the son?
Like 10.
What?
Yeah. I'm like, do you know the things that I was doing at 10 years old?
I've probably had
They're
my
not
first
even
cigarette
legal
by then.
Exactly.
Lord.
What? So that makes
Where?
me. That's like.
In what state?
Oh, I think it was down south somewhere.
Do you know the states that like so the laws of like
which is
when you
also
can leave
ironic.
your child home alone at what age or whatever? There's like actually no law in Iowa as to like what that age is specifically. It's just up to like the parent and that child and like what's safe.
What is the likelihood that your child's going to burn down your house? That's the appropriate age.
That's the age. Do they know where, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, these dogs were not trusted to not burn down the house, so they throw them out on the street during the day. They run around, but here's the thing. All of these restaurants are all open air, right? Mm-hmm. Not one dog begging for food. They're all very polite. They just hang out, and I bought a bag of dog treats at the Mexican Walmart. Day 2, got there. I was like, well, we need to go to get beer because we had the pool and we wanted to spend some time at this really beautiful house that we rented. And so we bought a lot. I mean, we probably drank 700 beers while we were there. And that is not an exaggeration.
Hence why Kara has a cracked tailbone.
That is why.
I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to put those two
very
things
injured
together.
I know. I was telling Cameron about what happened when we got home, and Marcus is like, "What do you think happened?" And she goes, "Well, I mean, I'm clumsy too." And I was like, "No, yeah, sure." But anyhow, so I bought these dog treats. All they had was like begging strips.
Ugh.
But they're street dogs essentially, so I thought they're gonna freaking love begging strips. Not one of them. They're like, oh no, we like carne asada or get the flork out of here. And they didn't want my bacon strips. So I had to just leave them at a bar that there was quite a few dogs around. I just left them on the bar. And while there was like 10 bacon strips on the ground, not one dog would touch them. They apparently eat really well because they're not interested. So no begging. None of them jumped up on you. None of them were like begging for your attention. So like
they're just in their environment.
They're just living their lives, and they're used to these white people walking around taking their pictures. I know. But yeah, they're just living.
Side quest to that end. This episode will be releasing right after Thanksgiving. So we're coming up on Christmas season. I just want to make the announcement now ahead of your Christmas shopping. We do not gift other people's dogs or your own dogs rawhides.
No rawhides.
Those stupid
turkey jerky,
twisted rawhide bones.
The rainbow,
that come in the,
like red, green, and
the
white
candy cane bull crap at Petco. We ain't doing it.
If a Mexican dog won't eat it, your dog shouldn't eat it.
Only if you want to spend New Year's Eve in emergency vet services.
That's right.
Don't do it. Don't let your friends do it. And if you get them from your mother-in-law, that is one gift I am approving you to throw directly in the trash in front of her.
No. Forget it, Connie. I'm not giving this rawhide.
Give her my number.
Dog.
Holly said.
The dog food queen told me. Anyway, so today, because of my like wonderful experience with meeting all of these Mexican street but not street dogs, and you could tell they were all very loved, and nobody had fleas. They all had been like vet care. You could tell they were well, and I think it was the island itself, like it's a little affluent and like where a majority of the people are, and then of course there's like
everybody eats well there.
Yeah. My stomach has never been so happy as when I was on that island. There's no fake nothing. Everything.
So, as a vegetarian, can I ask, you don't eat fish either?
I did eat fish on this trip.
Is that like
pescatarian? So originally, when I started doing like the no meat situation years and years ago, before I kind of went into it and then came back out, I was a pescatarian, and so now currently I am solely vegetarian unless it's a social situation where I can't find something to eat, and then I'll have pescatarian. So on my vacation, I did eat fish.
Yeah.
And it was fresh fish, so it was like fresh fish,
Wild
a
caught.
brand new fresh tortilla that was made right there, vegetables that were brought right over from Cancun and chopped right there, fresh fruit, like
so good.
I was not sick one time, and I'm sick all the time when I eat food here in the U.S. So, like, what's the difference? Like,
That's why I grow such a big garden. I keep telling you.
Yeah, all natural, everything. It was awesome. Very good food. So,
excellent.
And then I came home and ordered a pizza.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I was like, I can't think about anything. We're having pizza tonight. So
Casey's cut my slice into 2 pieces tonight, and I feel like I won.
It was a real.
I feel like I had 2 slices.
A
Even
real
though it's
lottery.
the same slice, they just sliced it into 2.
And they're like, oh, that's too small. Give her 2.
Perfect.
Yep. So anyway, we are going to talk about that Mexican hairless dog, which I have been searching for one, not only in the wild.
Oh, are we still talking about this?
Yeah, we got to circle back.
I was still on a side quest. Are we digging back out? Are we back to subsurface level?
I think so.
Okay.
We only have so much time. So the Xoloitzcuintli, the Mexican hairless dog. I think they're the coolest thing ever. They just look like a creature from another world. They're incredible.
I'm not judging you. I'm happy that you found something that makes you happy.
I haven't found something that's made me happy. I can't find one anywhere. I've actually spent some time researching, not right now because my pack does not need one more piece of hair or no hair in it. But
I mean, low shed.
But years ago, when I realized that I really liked this breed of dog, when I started becoming obsessed with all different breeds of dogs and researching them, I've got a whole library of dog books. I realized very quickly that this was appealing to me, which is funny because in Holly's dog book,
oh my gosh, I'm digging it out now because I forgot I was going to read that.
it says something not very nice about this breed of dog, which I really, really love. But part of why I kind of fell in love with them, and this is disgusting, but do you watch or have you seen the Dr. Pimple Popper?
Oh yeah.
I
YouTube? Get on the I'm on the ear cleaning TikTok.
Oh,
side.
And then the big
not
ear
so much
thing
the
comes
pimple
out.
Poppers. I've graduated into ear cleaning now. So
I do like the ear cleaning a lot. Sometimes they move you on to the digging out of toenails, and that's beyond.
No, I cannot.
But I do like the hoof GP, the hoof guy where he trims the cattle hoofs that have the abscesses.
No,
that is
no. That's disgusting.
That's top level. That's my favorite type of go to sleep videos.
Oh my god.
I love the horse. I want to be a farrier so bad.
Go spend a day with my brother.
I want to. I want him to give me some of those horse hooves for my dogs.
They love them. They really do.
They love them.
Oh, I should tag him for that for
Christmas
Would that
gifts.
be weird?
Everybody gets a horse.
Would that
hoof.
be weird? Here's a bag of horse hoof trimmings.
I would be excited because I grew up in country.
Why doesn't he sell that?
Why
don't farriers sell that?
Why
stuff?
are horse hoof trimmings okay, but not a pig ear?
Well, it's all
or a
natural
rawhide?
versus very processed.
No,
unable to...
a hoof is not the same as not even
rawhide.
That's like the difference between
mostly
your
glue,
skin
right?
and your toenail. They're not even the same thing. But there's a lot of what's the word? Not collagen. In the hooves that I'm gonna have to look it up now.
Yeah.
Kyle's gonna be so disappointed.
Oh my gosh. Well, I remember growing up and going over to my friend's grandma's house when the farrier was there, and this obsession started really young because I was watching this happen. I'm like, this is the
biotin.
Biotin.
That's the word I was looking
Keratin,
for.
biotin.
High in protein, high in keratin, calcium, oral health. Chewing on the hooves can help clean teeth.
Yes. But the farrier then was like, hey, do you have a dog at home? And I was like, yeah, I have a dog at home. And he handed me a handful of hoof trimmings. And my dog went nuts for them. And ever since, I'm just seeking out. I need somebody to collect the hoof trimmings.
Now, of course, there's
poop on them, which
if
they
there's
like.
any bacteria like an abscess or something in the
You
hoof,
wouldn't want to. Yeah.
You wouldn't want to give that to your
No.
dog.
You want to film it and put it on YouTube so I can watch it to relax. But anyway, all of this to say, this type of dog has a really oily skin, so they're prone to like blackheads. So you have to protect their skin from the sun. You have to give them a lot of baths because actually you would think a dog with no hair wouldn't need a bath. Oh, no, no. They're
So in our
oily babies.
in our podcast notes on these deep dive breeds, we just have kind of this little template, and I get down to grooming needs. I was like, oh, that's funny. Like nothing, right? And Kara's like, no, actually. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. They need lotion. And so you actually, like the dogs that are struggling with like the blackheads and the clogged pores and things, you have to like roll their skin with this special like oil and lotion to like get the blackheads out.
Listen,
I want one of these dogs so bad.
I don't even have a routine.
No, I don't either, but I will do it for my dog. I want one.
I'm going for the haggard, grumpy old
I'm going to name him
rescue
Xylophone.
founder. Look.
Xylo.
Anyway, in the book it says, the funny part, it says hairless dogs were believed to have sacred significance and were often used as a sacrifice or ritually eaten in religious ceremonies. That's not the funny part.
No, it's not. But I did go view some Mayan ruins on my vacation, and they had little etchings and drawings of these dogs.
They're all over it.
Yeah.
Because of these practices, hairless dogs barely escaped extinction, and it was not until the mid-20th century that breeders began to work towards its recovery.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was interesting.
They're over 5,000 years old.
They do have 3 weight classes, I guess is what you'd call them. So they have the miniature, which is 10 to 15 pounds, 10 to 14 inches. The intermediate at 14 to 18 inches or 15 to 30 pounds. And then the standard hairless dog, which is like a 30 to 50 pound dog.
That's what I was thinking.
Do you like the bigger ones?
That's what I thought. That's what I saw.
Okay. I
wild.
know somebody that has one of these. Although hers is more like the Peruvian hairless, which looks very similar.
Are you
except
sure
it has
it's
a
not
mohawk.
a Chinese crested?
Yeah, you could be right. I think her name was Amanda.
Chinese crested is a more popular version of the hairless dog because they've got a fluffy head, they've got little lion fluffy feet, and the end of their tail has a little poof of fluff. And the Chinese crested dog comes in 2 forms, the powder puff and the hairless, 3. Powder puff, the hairless, and the hairy hairless. Hairy hairless, I think. But the actual Chinese crested that has the bald and the little tufts. The Mexican hairless dog has little to absolutely no hair, and if they do have hair, it's on the top of their head. And she may correct me, much like she corrected me with the mispronunciation of her name, but Groomer Heaven, I believe, has a Mexican hairless dog because she's got a Xolo, and I know she has a Chinese crested, but the one is bigger. And I transported them one time for her when she was sick and needed someone to take her dogs to a boarding place, and I remember picking up that
and stealing it.
I almost did. Dante.
Do you actually have one of these?
He's kind of fat. No, I gave him back.
Trying to cover your tracks, aren't you?
But when I picked him up, and like his skin is like the feeling of it is like so strange, like an alien feeling texture, and I knew that I'm still on a mission. I'll have one someday.
So I'm sorry. Did you say you want the standard size or the miniature size? Or you don't care?
I like that there's a mini, and I would definitely take a mini, but I want the big one, I think.
Really? All right.
Either the big or the medium.
You know what happens when we say things out loud?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Squinty's going to have to hit the streets if that happens.
Let's see. The other thing they said is it is charming, good-tempered, and intelligent, and is likely to reward its owner, not the other way around, with loyalty and affection.
Unlike my dog, who didn't give a crap when I came home. I can't get over that. Mr. Bojangles, I came home from vacation, and he snubbed me for 24 hours.
He was big mad.
He was big mad.
Big mad.
I got to take him to the park tomorrow with my butt cushion pillow. I'm like, I'll go sit with you at the park with my butt cushion pillow so that you forgive me.
Guess
on kids' night, skin puppy night, I'm going to take him because that's all I've got this week. I'm busy.
Guess who might be coming back?
Who might be coming? Roy.
Roy boy.
She's having allergies?
She is. So Roy was adopted on, what day was that? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday.
While I was gone, yeah.
So when this
2 weeks
post, it'll be 2 weeks ago. Anyway, apparently the foster mom is having an allergic reaction. Been loading up on Benadryl every night and washing my sheets every morning. So she's trying.
Well, has she been to her doctor to get a shot in the ass?
I don't know,
They do those
man.
allergy shots.
You know what I'm thinking? I think Roy's telling me, Mom.
He's fluffing up his
Mom.
dander. Mummy.
Because
Mummy.
anytime I foster and adopt a dog out, this is just kind of my ritual. Is once I do the meet and greet and everybody's like, yep, we're good with it. I'm good with it. We're cool with it. Then I go through the paperwork with the adopter, and I explain,
Everything.
the document and like where you need to sign or whatever. I said, I'm gonna go have a chat with Roy, or I'm just gonna step out with the dog for a minute. I'll be right back. And then I go outside, or I go into another room, or wherever I'm at, and I just hold him, and I talk to him, and I tell him all the things. I'm like, and then the last thing I tell him, I was like, and if you don't like it here, you just bite them, and I will come get you. Day or night, any time of day, I will come get you.
Give him a chomp. It says so in the contract that they'll give you back. I have had that
So maybe
happen.
Roy's trying to...
Oh,
Come
he
on
can't help
home.
his dander. That poor lady. That stinks.
That does stink. She's super nice, too.
What does she want? What do we got? She want a bichon on...
She has a dog she adopted from another rescue that has 3 legs.
Yeah.
And she just wanted a friend for her friend.
Shoot.
Yeah. I mean, she's kind of been in this pattern for a couple years now where she'll have 2 dogs and the older one will die, so she'll get another one, and then the first one will die.
Yeah.
It's just kind of this
Well, and if this
crossover
one's
pattern.
and I know you said the one she has now has a liver shunt, and their life expectancy is short.
Yeah.
So
and it's a little overweight. But
yeah. Yeah.
anyway, just from lack of exercise,
crap.
not from her. But
I mean, I hate to tell someone that they have to get like a medical intervention to keep a dog, but like my friend does have like she goes to the doctor and like gets medicine that really does help her with her dog allergy. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Other than Benadryl, because that makes you feel drunk all the time. I can't even
I
take
can't.
Benadryl.
I refuse. I will not do
flatlined.
it. I will turn into the biggest. If you think I'm a bitch now,
I don't, but
Watch out.
Maybe I would on Benadryl. Huh? Don't do it. Don't take those drugs.
I can't even stand myself. That's how bad it is.
That's weird.
I refuse.
Now,
not doing it.
Benadryl for me just turns me to like a comatose like zombie. I cannot do anything. I'm flatlined.
Well, maybe that's why I get so pissed about it.
Because you're tired and you're trying to function.
Little joke there with your Mexican hairless dog. So they are hypoallergenic. I mean,
no dander, no hair, no problem.
no shedding.
You just need some Clarisol.
Very little grooming expenses.
A pore strip or two, no problem. And so they're hunting dogs, really. Like, they have a strong prey drive. They are a non-sporting breed, but they do have a strong prey drive. And I think a lot of that has to do with them being such an ancient breed that they probably did a lot of hunting in those times. And so you have to be careful or at least raise them around small animals or cats or things like that. Watch them for that. So, what else? What do we want to know about the Mexican? Oh, I'm going to take a little side quest here to say that I found out while I was on this Mexican vacation that I can take my pug with me if I want to Mexico.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All you have to do is you have to make sure, well, of course you have to pay for their whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you take them with you. And in order to bring a dog back into the United States, there's a few things you need. You have to have them microchipped. Weird. Makes sense. But there's a couple different microchips. And I found out that an universally readable microchip typically starts with the number 9. A lot of times from the breeder that turtled in my living room, they microchip their dogs with Avid chips. And I don't know why they do that, but they're not universally readable. They're only like a 6 or 8 digit chip. And if they have a letter in them, you have to double chip your dog in order to bring it back into the United States.
This defeats the entire purpose.
Right. Well, I mean, both of them you would register to yourself, so one of them is going to show up or whatever. But
Well, what's Avid got against being
I don't know
with
why.
the rest group?
That's just what the CDC has regulated. And so then they also had to have a valid rabies vaccination from a USDA vet. Does that mean, like, are all vets USDA
Oh, I don't know.
vets? Or do you have to, like, ask? I don't know.
That's a
But
good
you have to have a
question.
certificate for that, and then you have to fill out the...
Well, surely Iowa State would have a
Yes.
USDA vet.
I'm sure they all are inspected just like we are, and so it would be considered a USDA.
Well, I know veterinary offices are inspected by the same people that inspect us.
So anyway, you have to have that rabies, and then you have to be able to fill out the CDC form, which is a free form to fill out. So anyway, it was cute because we were on vacation, and our friend was saying, like, because I came across a pug, and I'm like, huh? And I go over there, I scurry over, and I said, first of all, I am crazy, but only pug crazy. And I showed her my screenshot of Dolores and Juji, and I was like, can I take a picture of your dog? And she goes, sure. She goes, he travels with me everywhere. So we get to chatting, of course, and she said, well, you could bring your pug. All they have to do is just have a microchip. And I was like, that is a strange thing that I wouldn't think would be required, but I get why it is. You know, so you can have that proof that it's your dog and all the things. And so yet another reason to microchip your dogs.
I was sitting at the bar the other night after bowling league. Tara and I dropped down there to have a nightcap, and this woman and her husband walk in, and they have a doodle puppy, very obvious, like less than 6 months, instant. And I said, "Oh, cute dog. Is it microchipped?" Which is such an odd question to ask. You know, like, they hadn't even sat down yet.
And do you need any flea or tick meds?
And she was like, no, we haven't got there yet. He's got an appointment or whatever. I said, well, would you like him to be? And she
$20.
She kind of looked at me
Buy my
weird.
shot, ma'am.
And I said, no, really, I got him in my car. And she looked at me again like, you're a psychopath. And I'm like, no. Like, I run a dog rescue. I could do it right here. I said, it's $20 if you want to do it. It's cheaper than the vet. She's like, yeah, that'd be great. And then I grabbed some flea and tick, which I cart around with me everywhere. I was like, yeah, here's some flea and tick. Here's a sticker. Have a button. Like, you want a Hulu and a moon pie, or what more can I do for you? It was great. And I scanned her right there. I mean, just to kind of get back some legitimacy. But
yeah, we're like, hey, I'm not a crazy person.
But anyway, so just a microchip then to travel?
And the rabies vax and that form. And that's it.
Yeah, so, see, like with the cruise lines, you can have a service dog, but it has to have all of the vaccinations required for your port of entries.
Which is difficult.
Even if you don't get off the boat, you still have to have
really?
it. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Because
you're docked.
Well, that ruins our idea for our dog cruise ship. To leave them at daycare.
Hopefully by then it'll be. Maybe if there are enough decks up.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah. I desperately want to be able to vacation with a dog. I don't have any actual needs for like a service animal, but I do know there's a reason why I have dedicated my life to dogs, and it's because I feel more comfortable and better if I have a dog with me. So immediately I'm going to get Juji rocking and rolling on what, like being carried.
The paperwork?
Getting used to the carrier so I can shove his
sure.
ass under the seat and he will be fine with it. Because he's kind of tall, so he's going to have to learn to like lay down in the carrier.
I know. Why don't they let you hold them? They let you hold babies.
Now, if it's an actual service dog, we learned from Nadia, if it's an actual service dog that you have like all of that for, you can get, she doesn't have to buy a seat because hers is like a functioning service dog. But I think they can sit in a seat. But the little ones have to stay in the carrier at all times, and they go under the seat.
A little one would be the size of a baby. And you could hold a baby on your lap the entire freaking flight.
Do you know how many babies were being traveled to Mexico? What kind of idiot goes on a vacation and
takes a baby?
I was in the ocean,
standing
in this crystal clear blue water, and there's people out there. They have 3 matching pink floaties with the little cover tops. Triplets, newborn babies floating in the ocean. That's just asking for, what's it called when the
birth control?
Dumb people die first?
Oh. That's not where you're going with that.
Oh,
Darwinism.
Darwinism. That's
Where the what?
Darwinism.
Oh, where you kind of screw with it?
Well, you put your 3
I mean, flailing, bite-sized
newborn baby
in the
snacks
ocean,
in the ocean,
and you
they're
put a
either gonna-
flamingo around them?
It's like, we got too many. We're just going to float them around out here and see which one makes it. It was ridiculous. And everyone's like, oh, look at the babies. Those things just came out of the hatch. Like, no.
Oh, God.
Now, could I float my pug out there on one of those things and he'd have a great time?
Oh, man.
Yes. And I would fight a shark for him. I would punch a hammerhead right between the eyes.
I bet Stanley would have fun on a vacation.
Oh, he would love it.
He's my little adventure buddy. We just celebrated 6 years with Stanley.
I can't believe that because I remember calling out when you...
You did. You commented right on that picture. It popped up. And I, if you didn't see it, I rescued Stanley out of a shithole on the southeast side of Des Moines 6 years ago. And so the report was that he had bit the little girl of the house on the arm, and then he bit her in the face. And so they were like, yeah,
He got to go.
he's got to go. I was like, all right.
I can't imagine he would do such a thing.
Cool. So this was the first time I met Nancy, our friend at Iowa Stars Rescue and Rehabilitation, and she met me there. It was this time of year, so it's dark and wet, just like it is now, and southeast side of Des Moines. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. And we walk in, and the house is like nasty, and there's no flooring. Like, it's all subfloor.
Oh.
And the drywall, it's like the walls aren't finished. Like, it's still drywall that hasn't been taped, mudded, painted, nothing.
But not a brand new build.
Like, they're obviously either going through a renovation.
Or they started when they couldn't finish it, or
Yeah.
something bad happened. Yeah.
And there's Stanley on the couch with this lady, and there's a little girl running around and screaming, and
You wanted to bite her in the
I'm
face?
like instantly pissed off. I'm like, okay. And then there's this other little black dog, like a Maltese, in a kennel, a small wire kennel, and this little girl just is banging on the top of this kennel, just like bang, 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 bang. And the dog's barking because I'm walking in. Me and Nancy are walking, the doorbell rings and the dog barks like natural thing. And she's over there banging on it like, shut up, shut up, shut up. And I had not even been in this house for like 10 seconds. And I grabbed that little girl by the arm and I got down on her level and I looked her in the eyes and I said, we don't do that. And
this is why you got bit in the face, you little...
And I sent her away, and she looked at me and locked up and, like, didn't know what to do with her life.
Who is this tiny white woman that's just come in here and set my life straight?
And, before I even knew it fell out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, shit, okay, here we are.
I'm trying to get this
trying
cute
to be
dog.
professional.
Be professional.
But,
be
like,
professional.
within 15 seconds of being on premise, you know exactly what happened. Like, there's nothing wrong with Stanley. He's never been aggressive to me.
He's my favorite
He has been
dog
nothing
nephew.
but perfect. But, yeah, so by the time I made it to Huxley, which is about 25 minutes north of there, I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the cutest freaking thing I have ever.
And he is fearless. Fearless. When we're down at the lake, there's like a boat turned over.
Well, he survived the toddler, so he's good to go for life.
There's like a boat turned over in the reeds, and he just dives in under there. Like, there could be anything under there. The other day, I had to go hunt him down out of the ridge tree line because he was on a squirrel. Or like in a pile
are
of
bigger
whatever.
than him, mind you.
There could be a
A badger.
varmint a badger. There could be a badger in there.
And you don't even have a wiener dog to help him out. Come on.
He gives zero shits.
Oh my gosh.
So I had to get a tracking collar for him, like a legitimate GPS tracking collar that I pay $100 a year for to track his ass.
I know. They were saying that there's a deal where we can get money off for the FI collars, but I was like, what dog would I put that on? All of my dogs are like so glued to my broken ass that I don't need it.
Every time Stanley goes off and he's on something. He's a Yorkie. He's 50% Yorkie, so he's on some varmint.
Yeah.
And he's not coming off of it. He doesn't give a shit. And every time I have to go find him, and I'm panicking because there's eagles and there's
He's so
coyotes.
small.
There are coyotes so close down there. I mean, really freaking close. And I just pick him up. As soon as I find him, I pick him up and I look him in the eye.
And you say, we don't do that.
Stanley, do you understand what could happen to you? Do you understand you could be picked off and I would never see you again? Do you understand? Like,
He said, no. You're speaking
if he
English.
does understand, he does not care.
No, he doesn't care. But
Oh,
man.
he's been a great addition to my life.
Oh,
so.
he's, like I said, he's my favorite dog nephew. They're so
Stan the
cute.
man,
Stan
Stanley.
the
So
man.
I had George, and I was going on the Golden Girls husband theme.
Yeah.
So I had George, and then I went for Stanley,
Yeah.
Dorothy's husband.
Yes.
And so that's turned into Stan and Stanford and Stan the man. So anyway,
And Stan, get back here.
that's my Stanley.
Yes. Well, that's about all there is to say about that. If anybody does, though, find a Mexican hairless dog right here in Iowa, you know who to call because I have just been looking forever. There is a hairless dog rescue that is based out of Texas, and they will not adopt out of the state of Texas. A number of times I've emailed these people to just say, hey, I'm a good person and I just really want a hairless dog, and they won't let me
I
love
think you
them.
better follow this up with a message to the universe about your timeline, okay?
But,
because
like,
if you
No,
you
no,
know
not
what's
right
gonna
now.
happen.
Not right now,
That's
though.
what I'm saying. You need to say that out loud.
I need it in, let's see,
You're
let me think about
We're gonna get a call tomorrow. Bet.
8 years. 8 years from now, I'm ready for my hairless dog. Please, 8 years from now.
Okay.
Okay. One thing I forgot to say about on my trip to Mexico. There was a really cool market that we walked through, and I'm talking about like how all the dogs are like walking all over the place, and like people leave, they just throw them out the door, and they live in the world. It's the craziest thing and the coolest thing, and I could tell these dogs were loved, but like just lived a different lifestyle than our dogs live, right? But the weirdest thing, we're walking, it's an open air market. People have the tables set up and all the things, and I look around and there's no dogs. I'm like, this is super weird. And I'm like, is there a fence? Like, why? How are they keeping the dogs out of here? Because everywhere we went, we'd turn the corner, there'd be a dog standing in the street, you know, whatever. And I realized that the dogs were avoiding this particular market because it was a flea market.
Oh my god. Dog damn it. You got me.
It's been a while.
Jesus, that was bad. That was good, actually. That was pretty good. That was the best setup you've had yet.
Thank you.
You need to call Hulu. They're doing stand-up comedy now.
Been thinking about it for 24 minutes. All right.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
anyway, hairless dog, 8 years, Burhow Dog Hotel.
Make it happen.
Let's roll.
P.O. Box 33,
Mhm.
Madrid, Iowa, 50156. We have gotten a couple fan mail cards. We
Mhm.
appreciate it. We would love to hear from anybody.
Yes.
Anybody.
And
Put me on a
we
pen pal list or
will-
one of those chains. Put me on one of those
If
chains.
you put a bad dog joke on your postcard that
Ooh.
you send to Holly,
Great
we'll
idea.
read it on the podcast.
Yeah, we need some new content, obviously.
Stop it. I want to just all I want is to Dr. Pimple Popper a dog. I don't
Oh my
understand why that's weird or
Ugh.
bad content. All right.
Until then,
Bye. We'll figure it out.
we'll figure it out.
Oh my dog.
What I mean when I see, what I see, what I feel, when I dream, when I be, I'm a freak, what up? Oh, what up? Everybody look at me when I'm free, when I feel, what I see, when I do it, I'm a freak, what up? Oh, what up? Say what we got, it's hot to spot, give up the drop, see what we got, do what, do what? We got to go, the body flow, too hot to show, the front row, we won't stop.